Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on this fine morning. And boy, oh boy, did we get ourselves into a little hot water yesterday. My goodness gracious.
Look, 877 SORG 760.
Yeah, it's very simple. Our new number here at the station, 877 SORG 760. That's SORG 760. You could dial that number anytime you like. That's going to be the number you need to remember for giveaways. That's SORG 760 after 877. Look, it's easy. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's phonetic. It makes sense. We discussed this a little bit yesterday, but apparently some people around the building heard us discussing it on air and got upset.
Nobody mentioned it to us during the day. So wait, no. I mean, during the day while Fletch and I were here, because you left a little bit earlier than us, but then you said somebody contacted you later in the day.
Yeah, I get a text message from our fearless news director, Mary Ayala, and she mentioned to me, she was like, "Hey, so you really love the number?" And then I just wrote back one very simple sentence. It's, and then in all caps, perfect.
So how do you spell SORG?
SORG.
There's probably another word we could come up with. Maybe we should leave it to the listeners.
Oh yeah. If you can build a word using 877 767 4760, go for it.
Yeah. Please.
If you can make
2 words.
It could be 2 words. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Try to make something out of that letter salad. We'd appreciate it.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like 4760.
No, we got it. We got it.
Yeah, not 4760. 4760.
Yeah, we're just. You're trying to kill the bit.
Hey, yeah. You're doing a great job, Fletch. You just keep it up.
Number. I don't have any problems with it.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you got any other shoes you can lick around here? Hang on, I'll take off mine. Here you go. Why don't you kiss these? Yeah. Okay. Good job, Fletch. Listen. The gift of the holidays is upon us. We are endowed every year with certain things that we want.
Right.
Many things that we don't.
Right.
And the gift that appears to continue to keep on giving, whether you want it or not, is Michigan football in trouble. So the lead story heading into this Thursday morning is the Michigan Wolverine program is facing punishment from alleged impermissible coaching and recruiting stemming back to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Good.
Thank you, NCAA, for really hustling through this process for us.
We did it.
The pandemic was 3 years ago.
Now, maybe I'm late to this, but didn't they already get in trouble for this one? Like, this was what Harbaugh was suspended for at the beginning of the year, right?
Right. So that was self-imposed.
That's right. Michigan imposed that one to try to skate whatever punishment was down the line.
So get this. So this is, let me read the exact thing that I put on the rundown here. So the update here is Michigan received a notice of allegations from the NCAA regarding the alleged violations by the football staff during the COVID-19 recruiting dead period. Wolverines coach Jim Harbaugh faces level 1 violation for allegedly not cooperating or misleading the NCAA investigators about the alleged violations. And Michigan also faces four level 2 violations, which are considered less serious.
Okay.
That's where we're at. Like you mentioned, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh, he was suspended by the football program for, I believe, 3 games to start this season. That was announced back in August. And Sharon Moore, the offensive coordinator, was also suspended for a game for his role in all of this. All of that with the intention to lessen the NCAA punishment for this alleged event that took place. So now they're actually facing punishment, or violation, I should say. Now, guess what we get to do? Wait another 90 days for Michigan to digest all this. Good. And then an additional 60 days if they want to put out an official rebuttal.
Do you guys think this is similar to earlier this year when it was really other schools within the conference trying to attack Jim Harbaugh for the Connor Stallions thing. Like, it's something that probably everyone's doing a little bit of, but they wanted to come down hard on Michigan because nobody likes Harbaugh. So now is this more the world of college football trying to make, because really this feels like mountains out of molehills to me. Like, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but the rest of college football doesn't like Jim Harbaugh. So they're trying to come down hard on Michigan yet once again and drag this thing out another, did you say 90 days?
Yeah, so it's 90 days. Okay, let me read that part. So this is okay, here we go. So the NCAA or Michigan has 90 days to respond to the notice of allegations. And then the NCAA has an additional 60 days to issue a rebuttal to Michigan's response to these allegations.
So Harbaugh can he make most of this go away by just leaving to the NFL?
Oh yeah. Well, and that is exactly what's going on.
That's what everyone wants.
So to your point, Fletch, I do agree that this feels very much like a vendetta.
I agree.
That there's enough influential people who are part of make up college football that want Jim Harbaugh out because they feel that there's a line and there's a very thin line, and then there's a whole lot of gray area. But Jim Harbaugh is operating so deeply into those margins that he makes all these other football coaches who also do some of the things he's been alleged to be guilty of, but he's just doing them worse or doing them better, depending on how you look at it.
No, I agree. And it feels like exactly what you're saying, Fletch. Like almost as if they're trying to push him out. And if they box it out just enough and give him no other options as he's in the corner, he backs out. He becomes now an NFL coach. He's not their problem anymore, and they don't have to spend any more money at this.
It just seems like they're making every little thing so tough for Michigan that everything is coming with a mountain of paperwork or a 90-day in-between period, and they're going to drag this thing out as long as possible just to make life a little harder for the Michigan head coach and the Michigan athletic program. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, punishments get handed down to a lot of schools every single year, right? They're for different violations, different slap on the wrists. But the Michigan one has been so public, and ESPN has been so at the forefront of pushing this story out there. Like you look this morning on ESPN.com, just like our show, it's at the top.
Yeah.
And so Michigan, we know, is a little bit of a puppet for the NCAA because of how much money it brings to ESPN. So I'm just wondering if there's some sort of back alley deals going on where they're like, we are doing everything in our power to make sure this Michigan scandal, quote unquote, is as public as possible. So Jim Harbaugh is out of our hair forever.
I don't think it's as conspiratorial as all that. I think it's simply he's enough of a villain to enough influential people that they're trying to feather the bed for his exit. Like, so I don't know who, but name big names in college football. Nick Saban, I don't know, right. Dabo Swinney, Ryan Day at Ohio State. What's his name? The head coach at Penn State, Rich Franklin, name a bunch of others. Anybody who's ever lost a recruit to Jim Harbaugh, who thinks that he used nefarious actions to do so. Well, they're cheerleading him getting in trouble for breaking the COVID recruiting rules.
Well, and I would say we'll open up their recruiting books and see how they did it all, but I don't know that college football necessarily cares about how they did it all.
Anybody who's ever lost to Michigan, especially maybe during the pandemic where seasons were shortened, whatever, maybe they have an axe to grind because they maybe were trying to do things on the up and up. And then when they found out that Michigan's alleged to have been practicing during dead periods, well, all of a sudden they have an axe to grind. Maybe if you're an opponent of Michigan over the past 2 years and you felt, geez, it's odd. It feels like they know our playbook. And all of a sudden you find out that a guy named Connor Stallions was buying tickets
fake
and
name.
At times,
1,000,000%
that is 100% a fake name. He's going to change his name back to whatever it was before, and he's going to disappear off the face of the planet pretty soon here.
And then work as Tommy DeVito's third agent.
It's going to be the new marketing manager for Tommy DeVito. We set you up at Caniglio's again. This time it's for 30 large. Anyways, if you've been an opponent of Jim Harbaugh's over these years and you find out, oh, here it is. This is the avenue where it doesn't sound like sour grapes and a bunch of whining. Like I actually could stick it to him. Like I felt like he knew what we were doing before we did it.
Right.
And here's the proof. And so they're trying to shove him out the door.
Well, and then does this do anything to Harbaugh's NFL future? I mean, if he backed out now, does it hurt him? I mean, is he looked at poorly? Does the NFL go, yeah, we don't want any of this either? Maybe not.
I think the reason why the NCAA, because they could rush through these investigations if they want to. They probably are sitting on a mountain of evidence that is even further damning than what we've seen so far. And I'm sure there's going to be more to this story. Like I said, this is the gift that keeps on giving. This is miles from being done, folks. I think what will happen is in not so plain English, it'll be more subtle than this, but somebody with a lot of sway and influence is going to be like, you're going to make life really hard for yourself. You're going to make life really hard for this football program if you stay in college football. So our suggestion to you is, even if it isn't easy for you to get a job in the NFL, even if it isn't a head coaching job in the NFL and it's a coordinator role as an offensive coordinator potentially, you got to go.
And it does seem, if you've been on X.com or Twitter over the last couple of days, that there are teams interested in Jim Harbaugh. Now, one of those teams, I saw a report yesterday that the Chargers are in on both Harbaugh and Belichick.
Right.
I don't know how much I believe that, because it is the Los Angeles Chargers, and both of those guys are going to cost you quite a bit of money. But it appears that Jim Harbaugh is a wanted commodity at the next level, whether it be for Chicago or Los Angeles or wherever.
New
There's
England.
Plenty of head coaching jobs open.
New England seems like a good landing spot
I feel
for
like
him.
New England's laying out the red carpet for Mike Vrabel this offseason. You can mark my words on that one.
I remember the Chargers were, quote unquote, in on Andy Reid and in on Bruce Arians back in 2013. I remember when the Chargers, it was Anthony Lynn. I'm forgetting who also was up for jobs at that point, but there were some big names available as well. And it, like, trust me, their name is going to be attached to some big name coaches. But in the end, I do not think a Belichick or a Harbaugh is going to Los Angeles. I just don't think they financially can match pace with some of these other NFL franchises. Now, maybe if they can somehow get a discount on a Jim Harbaugh, because no other NFL team will touch Jim Harbaugh because of some potential looming suspensions that are waiting for him in the NFL based on the infractions at the NCAA level, maybe you can make up, but there's almost no way in my mind.
So we did this deep dive a few months ago, the last time Jim Harbaugh was suspended, and we were talking about what the chances are of him going to the NFL. And it sounds like there is some precedent for the suspension to follow him to the NFL, but it would have to be team implemented, not league implemented.
Okay. So then you don't think you make that part of the contract? As you're signing, I mean, did Harbaugh says, yeah, listen, I will gladly come here and be the head coach, but you're not going to put any suspension on me.
I can't remember the name of the guy, but it was
Jim
with Jim Tressel with the Indianapolis Colts. So it was the Colts were the ones who implemented the suspension or upheld the suspension from college football. Yeah.
Okay. What is it? It was, okay. So here's an article written back in September 5th of 2011. So I think the Colts did hire him. The Colts released a statement Monday morning. So this is all the way back. What's the date? September 5th of 2011. Monday morning announcing that Jim Tressel would serve, in essence, a 6-game suspension before joining the team in his role as game day consultant. The team isn't calling it a suspension, but by telling Tressel not to show up for work until the season's 7th game, that's basically what it is. Yeah, so that's probably what it'll be if Jim Harbaugh, if there's still major axes to grind at the college football level, and they successfully shove him out of his position at Michigan, very similar to Jim Tressel at Ohio State, then there is an avenue where he joins a staff as a consultant or coordinator or, I don't know, position coach, and they just have him serve some phony baloney suspension where he's still working through the week, just not showing up on game days.
All right, before we get to Haffey, where do you want to see Jim Harbaugh coach?
That's a great question. I would love to see him coach in the AFC North. I don't know which, because I like Kevin Stefanski, I like Zach Taylor and what he's done with the Bengals, and I love Mike Tomlin. But how cool would it be to see him and his brother face each other as division rivals?
Yeah.
So maybe join like Tomlin's staff in Pittsburgh because their offense has been so bad over the years.
So now Albert Breer this morning on Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, I was listening, said that there may be Mike Tomlin's seat may be warming up. Now that one was the showstopper to me. I was like, Mike Tomlin, you can't fire Mike Tomlin.
There's been talk of this for years now. There was talk of Mike Tomlin 2 years ago. If you remember, like right before the pandemic or during the pandemic, going to take the head coaching job at USC.
That's
you remember that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just Steelers don't trade out their coaches very often here. They've had 3 in like 40 years.
And I just think the deal with Mike Tomlin,
like an actual number,
which is the favorite cliche you hear around firing season. Well, if your coach is going to be the first coach hired somewhere else, you probably shouldn't fire him. But I wonder if it's some sort of mutual parting of the ways, like Mike Tomlin's done with the Steelers kind of done with Mike Tomlin.
It's so tough.
I mean, there's always a possibility, and I would imagine that Steeler fans are getting kind of tired of a 9-8 season or a 9-7 season. I mean, yeah, it's a winning record, but you're not getting anywhere. So
the best argument I heard, and this is true, somebody one time said, why are we glorifying Mike Tomlin for having all these above 500 seasons? They're like, this is ridiculous. That's not, it's like anti-sport to like parade around and think it's cool that a guy is like mediocre. Because he was like, whoever it was, the analyst who was making this point, and I apologize to whoever it was, that I can't remember who I was listening to, but it made a lot of sense to me. They were like, isn't the goal to win a Super Bowl every year? Like, isn't the goal to be a playoff team every year? Like, just being like, hey, guys, we didn't have a losing season. Whoa! Like,
and to your point, 7-7 right now is good enough for 4th place in the AFC North.
Yeah,
so like you're in last place of your division, which that's where every NFL season starts. Teams want to win their division.
I think the winning record is touted as successful because you have had such terrible teams. So you're making something out of nothing. However, at some point, I mean, you got to look at the guy who's building the nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point, you're going to have to figure out how to put the pieces together to have more than a nothing season.
Well, those Aztecs boys, they're back on the court tonight. So they faced 2 Pac-12 teams already this year. They beat Washington in overtime. They beat Cal in overtime. And now they have Stanford. Hopefully this is not an overtime game. Stanford will be the lowest in terms of net, in terms of KenPom that they've faced out of the Pac-12 team so far. But 2-0 against the Pac-12 so far. Stanford tonight, 6 o'clock tip-off at Viejas Arena. John and I will be on the air at 5 with pregame. NFL Week 16 kicking off tonight. Rams, Saints, SoFi Stadium. Both teams 7-7. Rams 4.5-point favorites in this one. Both teams fighting for a playoff spot in the crowded NFC. What are we laughing at?
What the hell is that?
So we were talking about mascots yesterday because of Stanford. That kicked everything off. And a listener texted in and they're like, yeah, look, what was the Grim Reaper mascot?
Oh, that was Dominic the Friar from University of Providence.
Okay, so that was rated the creepiest mascot. And he's like, do you remember when the Pelicans had the King Cake Baby mascot?
I
don't remember this at all. But I wish I did.
Oh, dear Lord.
I'll tell you right now, that is nightmare fuel.
You could make a horror movie based on that one thing. And then NBA quickly, Clippers beat the Mavs last night, 120-111. Lakers lose in Chicago, 124-108.
So we are hurtling toward the Christmas holiday, which is a perfect opportunity to forward promote what's happening tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. It's the Big Rich, TD, and Fletch Christmas Spectacular.
Yes, it is.
All the pieces have somehow fallen into place, and we are doing a potluck, bring your own drink recipe.
I like it.
In the final hour of the show. All that will be presented by Keg and Bottle. It's a Bar Car Friday after all. So Tony Conja will be here, and we will be giving him our wish list of supplies needed to make our drinks.
Correct. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. I went by Keg and Bottle, already picked up when I needed.
Well,
so I'm done.
Okay, so
I'm good. Tony will need to make a holiday drink as well.
He will too. Yeah. So it'll be the 4 of us, the 3 of us here on the show, Big Rich, TD, Fletch, plus Tony Conja, making our favorite holiday recipe drinks tomorrow, as well as a very special guest in studio. We tried to book reindeer.
Yeah.
We couldn't book reindeer.
Right.
So we got the next best thing.
1,000,000%.
We're not going to tell you what that is yet. Just wait. And tune in tomorrow in the 7 o'clock hour.
I don't know the time yet.
Okay, we got to lock in the time, but we know.
I do believe when the guest arrives, that guest will be here for the duration.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That means we're gonna have some furry friends in studio. Again, couldn't get reindeer, so we got the next best thing.
We also have our gift exchange.
We do.
That's right.
Which
I'm
very excited about.
Right.
I was actually working with someone in studio yesterday on your guys' gifts.
Interesting. Oh, wow.
Is Brent gonna pop out of a cake?
Did you make a porno?
Did you? Wait. All right.
No.
Hardwood Balls Classic 2.
This time the balls are bigger and the wood's a lot harder. Look, so tomorrow's going to be a big day. Also coming up on the show today, do we have a pair of tickets to Aztecs tonight?
We have 2 pairs of tickets to Aztecs.
Okay. Yeah.
Also,
in a game that will be sold out.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have a pair of tickets to the Holiday Bowl.
We do.
Which is also the KGB Sky Show.
Which is also this, yes.
Unreal.
Which the 3 of us will be all over the place for.
All right.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, you're going to be here doing pregame. TD's somewhere at Petco Park.
I'm in some booth. I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Gallagher Square, maybe somewhere near the concessions.
I was told it's not Gallagher Square because they're doing construction on Gallagher Square. So we're going to be inside. And I was like, okay, like in the press box. Press box.
Yeah,
maybe
you're not broadcast allowed in the press box.
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
I mean,
if I box at Petco,
if I was in a chair next to the Hodad's, concession stand, that'd be cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We have our morning monologue coming up here in just a few minutes, but we got an update from TD yesterday. He said that his lovely wife Sarah, who we love a lot here on the show, was actually mad how much time he was spending making our gifts.
Yes, that did happen. She was on the couch. I looked over and she goes, I hope you spend as much time on my gift as you spend on their gift.
Well, you better, you jerk.
And I said, I did not do any arts and crafts for you, hon. But the boys, they deserve some arts and crafts.
Last year, I was gifted by Travis Tom Brady ass sand.
That was your birthday.
Oh, that was my birthday.
Yeah.
For Christmas, it was like the most thoughtful gift. It was the bottles of scotch that had Big Rich TD and Fletch engraved on it.
That's right.
And then you gave us the smokers for the drink.
Cocktail smokers.
And then I handed you guys a penis mug.
That's right.
Because I thought that's where it was heading. Little did I know you guys are really thoughtful.
You gave me boobs mug and you gave Travis D&B mug,
which is proudly in my cabinet, my cupboard.
The D is the handle.
Yeah. I drink out of it every morning. That on Christmas morning, the family loves it. The family loves it.
Okay. Look, we've run out of time. We're just a couple of chatty Cathys this morning. We can't help ourselves.
Jim Harbaugh in college football being corrupt is pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Also coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Jonas Knox, Fox Sports radio personality. Just heard him on 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe. We'll get into Week 16 in the NFL with Jonas and the morning monologue in just a little bit. That's all coming up on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. We will start off here with the Aztecs hoops. Boys back on the court tonight, taking on Stanford at Viejas Arena. Tickets available at goaztecs.com. Tip-off at 6. Pregame gets underway at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760. NFL Week 16 kicking off tonight. Rams Saints at SoFi Stadium. Both teams fighting for a playoff spot. Rams 4.5-point favorites at home. This Christmas, Paramount Plus delivers the gift of football when the defending Super Bowl champs Chiefs host the division rival Raiders. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Christmas Day. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Hey, now, I like that. Big Rashidi and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Merry Christmas indeed from all of us here at San Diego Sports 760 and Keg and Bottle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it. We got a bunch of stuff to give away today. We got a couple pairs of tickets to the Aztecs versus Stanford tonight, Viejas Arena. Tickets and info available at goaztecs.com. They may already be sold out if you go to goaztecs.com, but if you want to get them, keep it locked in here. We also have a pair of tickets to the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl between Louisville, USC, December 27th, Petco Park.
All right, Jonas Knox joining us. We're always delighted when we get a visit from Fox Sports Radio personality, star of 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe. You hear that right before this program on San Diego Sports 760. And I'm sure based on, the show's attendees, right? Yeah, Brady Quinn, college football analyst. You've got LeVar Arrington, college football Hall of Famer. We have a lead and breaking story out of the NCAA where Michigan has now been informed of its many violations during the COVID-19 pandemic. And there are like 2 or 3 more violations that they still need to be suspended, or penalized for. Jonas, this really does have a strong whiff of the NCAA telling Michigan it's time you fire Jim Harbaugh. What was your guys' take on this morning?
Well, we've been talking about this Michigan stuff because what's hilarious about it is how, remember when the NCAA came out so strongly, and I want to say it was a couple of months ago, and just kind of reported that, well, listen, there were violations during COVID and it had nothing to do with the hamburger, because that was one of the stories out there that Jim Harbaugh bought. And so they've been really at it as far as trying to get a punishment for Jim Harbaugh. And my whole thought on it was, when it initially happened, it would not surprise me if Jim Harbaugh, at some point during the investigation that he quote unquote did not cooperate fully in, if he said, hey, listen, why don't we just go ahead at the end of this whole thing, we're good. I understand we did some things wrong. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you guys a cheeseburger. Like, I could totally see him being such a wise ass about it that they said, okay, you want to play that game. And now all these months later, he's getting popped for that. Then you've got the sign stealing. Then you got, I wonder if it's also not only that they want him out, but if Jim Harbaugh is going to get to the end of this whole thing and say, oh, screw it. I want to go back to the NFL. I don't want to deal with these guys anymore. And I've got an opportunity, maybe with the Chargers, maybe the Bears, maybe the Raiders, one of these other teams. I just don't think I think Jim Harbaugh is not for long when it comes to Michigan.
Jonas, you name a few of those teams. Where do you see him going? What does your gut say? And would an NFL team want him, or is he bad goods now?
Oh, hell yeah, they'd want him. I mean, come on, listen, the NFL, we've seen example after example of, well, listen, there's some stuff off the field, but you know what? Pretty good at his job. And the one thing you could say about Harbaugh is that he's great at his job. Everywhere he's gone, it's worked from a head coaching standpoint. And I could see the candidates, and what's interesting is that there's all a connection there. The Chargers has been brought up. I mean, I believe he started his coaching career with the Chargers and actually played for him. The Raiders, he was with that organization. The Bears drafted him. There's some potential with that. I think he's going to have a lot of viable options if those options open up. I don't see Carolina because I don't know who would want to deal with David Tepper. He seems a little bit impulsive. He's firing coaches left and right. But I look at those three as being the leading candidates: Bears, Chargers, or Raiders. If those open up, especially the Bears, and if the Raiders go in the other direction from Antonio Pierce. But I definitely think he's going to get some interest out there.
Jonas, I listen to your guys' show every morning, and generally, when you have show-stopping moments, it's something that LeVar says that is just way out of left field. But this morning, it was from Albert Breer, and he was talking about Mike Tomlin and his future with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that got me thinking a little bit. Do you think that there's any chance that the Steelers move on from Mike Tomlin here at the end of the year?
That's the second week in a row that Albert Breer's made mention of something as just kind of he throws it in there, and you're like, wait, what? Like, so yeah, like, according to Breer, he wonders if a team hit up the Pittsburgh Steelers and said, hey, what would it take to get Mike Tomlin? If the Steelers would be more open now to having that conversation than other years, which seems crazy, but when you look at just sort of what has happened there, there's some, you wonder whether or not it's run its course, which is a fair question to ask, considering it's been a long time since that last Super Bowl, like a long time. And so I know we still think fondly of the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, but how close are they really to being a competitor in the AFC? If you were to really break down the AFC, if you wanted to do some power ranking or something along those lines. And then last week, Breer drops this in, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks, where he said, I asked him, like, is there any surprise potential coaching move that could happen at the end of the season? He said, well, the one that, I'm keeping an eye on is Seattle with Pete Carroll. Not that they would fire him, but Pete may want to move on. And, if he does, Dan Quinn's a guy they would look at. Wait, what? So, like, out of nowhere, Pete Carroll could be walking away or stepping down or maybe taking a front office role. And Dan Quinn, who's been in the head coaching cycle the past couple of years, probably could have had a job either year, maybe decides this is the offseason to leave Dallas and the great job I've done with that defense. And they love him in Seattle. So that could be a potential move. It's kind of wild that, the season's not even done yet, and we're already having conversations about all these potential head coaching hires.
Jonas Knox joining us this morning, 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio. We got a Thursday night matchup tonight featuring a huge battle in the NFC wildcard race between the Rams, who are hosting the New Orleans Saints. So I look at the Rams defense, and against better offenses, I don't like that defense at all. They got their doors blown off by the Cowboys. They lost to the Ravens. They looked awful against the Ravens defensively. But then I look at the Saints offense and I go, I don't like them either. So it's sort of like, it sort of feels like that negates themselves. Are we in store for another Thursday night snoozer, even though the implications on this game couldn't be any more fraught with interest?
Yeah, I think the implications are really the story, and then the football is kind of secondary to where, it may be like a 13-10 final, but because there's so much on the line, we're going to look back at it and go, huge game. And it's like, okay, well, it's basically, like the Panthers Falcons from last week, but the playoff implications there. I look at these two teams and I go, the Rams are much better than I thought they'd be, because I thought we had seen the end of this championship window. Not that they're a championship caliber team now, but maybe Aaron Donald walks away, Stafford walks away, Sean McVay walks away. And the Saints are the opposite. I thought I was high on New Orleans, and they've been so underwhelming all season long. Derek Carr seems like he goes out with an injury every game. I thought they'd be a lot better than they were. And like the most notable storyline from the Saints this season is Michael Thomas throwing a brick at a construction worker parked outside his house. That's what I think of the 2023 Saints. Yeah. And the Rams, I'm like, all of a sudden, like Puka Nacua shows up and they've got legitimate weapons on the outside for Stafford, who's had a much better year than I think a lot of people expected as well.
Yeah, he's just the gloveless Hawaiian making diving catches in the rain.
Awesome.
He's incredible. Hey, really quick, we got about 30 seconds. What's your favorite holiday drink? Are you an eggnog guy? Are you a hard cider guy?
Tough question.
Are you getting
Jonas
into
Knox,
any
he's
of
an IPA guy.
The mulled wine? Yeah, like what?
Christmas IPA?
Well, yeah,
He's an IPA guy.
Well, let Jonas answer.
Whoa.
Jonas, what do you dig into on in terms of libations around the holidays?
I'm a beer guy through and through, and I do like the IPAs. But I will say probably the best holiday beer that I've had is Shinerbach.
Ooh.
They do a holiday beer. It's like a 5%er. So you could have a few more of those than you could an IPA to get after a little bit. But it's got like pecans, and it's got a different flavor to it. It's a little bit unique. So yeah, I'm more of a beer guy. I do want to get into eggnog just because I want to drink out of those moose glasses they have at Christmas store on the National Lampoons. But I just can't get into the idea of putting booze inside eggnog and enjoying it past one glass. I just couldn't do it.
Have you ever tried homemade eggnog?
No, just the store stuff. Is it different?
Oh,
it's different.
We did it last year, and I have a feeling it's going to be. We're gonna have another pot of it whipped up here in studio because
you should probably stop by, Jonas.
TD bought a hand mixer yesterday.
That's right, I did.
So we're pumped about that. Yeah, it's way different. But by the way, yeah, the Shiner Holiday Cheer. I just found it. Seasonal winter beer. It's got taste of Texas peaches and roasted pecans.
That looks like
it's good, man.
That looks like it. That looks like it came off the set of The Christmas Story.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Okay.
It's really good because there's a lot of those beers, like the darker beers. They're so filling. That one though, you could have at least a couple of them, and you're sitting pretty.
Oh, I love it. I love it, Jonas. We love our visits with you. We appreciate it every single time. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and yours. We appreciate it, dude.
Same to you guys and everybody listening. I appreciate it.
There he goes. Jonas Knox, a star of Fox Sports Radio, 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe. Coming up, a rare win for a perennial loser. Wait till you hear this. But before that, speaking of the holidays, Underdog Fantasy has their 12 days of promos going on social media. If you haven't heard of Underdog Fantasy yet, they're the easiest place to play fantasy basketball every single night of the basketball season. Now, I'll be doing my pick'em entries with Thursday Night Football tonight, but alongside of that, if there's good NBA action, I'm getting involved in that almost every single night of the week. It is super fun. And if you're unfamiliar with the pick'em entries, it's super easy. You pick between 2 or 5 players, decide whether they'll go higher or lower on their stats. And if your pick hits, you could win really, really big. Completely legal in California, and it is a ton of fun to play. I had a $500 or $600. I can't remember how big of a hit it was Monday night, but it was absolutely insane. I went 5 for 6 on pick'em entries. So go to their easy-to-use mobile app or underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code XTRA. Underdog Fantasy will double your first deposit of $10 or more, up to $100. So if you put in 100, they'll give you 100. Right? You put in 50, they'll bring it up to 100. You put in 25, they turn it to 50. They'll double it up to $100. And in the spirit of the holidays, Underdog is doing daily promos over the site formerly known as Twitter. Follow at Underdog Fantasy and be on the lookout for ways to win a Nintendo Switch, a PS5, and more. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
How about that? Some losers finally found a way to get a win. We'll explain next.
Hey, welcome back. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We have pairs, multiple, of tickets.
Yeah, we do. 3 pairs.
To give away today. Yeah. So we're giving away a pair of tickets to the Holiday Bowl, 44th Annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Louisville, USC, Petco Park, 5 p.m. kickoff next Wednesday, followed by KGB Sky Show. Also, Stanford coming to town to play against the Aztecs at Viejas Arena. Tip-off at 6 p.m. Pre-game underway here on 760 at 5 o'clock with Ben Fletcher and John Schaefer before Teddy has the call. You're going to that game if you win tickets. We got 2 pairs to give away today. So a lot to look forward to here, and we'll start giving away those tickets coming up here real soon. So keep listening.
Listener Paris chiming in here on the stream saying that he's on his way to Las Vegas.
Nice.
God, good call.
Yeah. 2 days in
Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas holiday for Christmas? Is he there for Christmas?
Maybe he's got family out there.
Well, it's also not a bad time to go because most people are with family, so Vegas is a little more empty.
Dude, it was COVID time, 2020, Christmas time. We were driving through Vegas. I stayed at the New York. They gave us a corner suite. It was $34.
What? What? That's awesome.
It was awesome.
That is awesome. All right. So if you're heading to Vegas and you're listening to us on the free iHeart radio app like Paris does every morning, we appreciate you. Share a link with friends. That's the best way to support this show. Okay. So the Chargers, when I say a rare win, it is rare when you got to give the Chargers credit for anything. Like the Chargers screw everything up. It feels like they can screw anything up. However,
yeah.
This year's campaign for the Chargers kicker, is it Corey Dicker? Is that his first name?
Cameron.
Cameron Dicker.
Cameron Dicker.
Cameron Dicker. Vote for him to make the Pro Bowl.
So they're campaigning on Twitter, on X. They did it in the best way possible. They basically shot it like he's a used carsman doing an ad.
It's like an infomercial.
An ad. This is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, he's got my vote.
Holy smokes.
It's fantastic. Great job.
Oh my gosh.
Great job. They should all be like that.
The Chargers are a mess of an organization. They have screwed up. I mean, some of the things that you just like, for example, I don't know, was it a 27-0 lead in the postseason last year against the Jacksonville Jaguars? Was it that many points? I forget. They gave it all the way back, and the Jags end up beating them. Head coach hirings. The list goes on. It's a mile long, but they absolutely knocked this campaign for their kicker out of the park.
Well done.
Yeah,
that's Pro Bowl quality.
Game respecting game right there, no question about it. Okay, coming up next hour, we got to get into this Thursday night football matchup. Also, Wheel of Football makes its triumphant return to the program. Looking forward to that. And a new name at the top of the list in terms of male athletes in the United States. We'll get into all that. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Thursday.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Starting off with the Aztecs hoops. Boys back on the court tonight, taking on Stanford at Viejas Arena. Tickets available at goaztecs.com. We have 2 pairs to give away on the show today. Tip off at 6. Pregame coverage gets going at 5. Right here on San Diego Sports 760 in the NFL. Week 16 kicking off tonight. Rams Saints at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Rams 4.5-point favorites in this one at home. Both teams are 7-7, fighting for a spot in the crowded NFC playoffs. And in the NBA, Clippers beat the Mavs last night 120-111. That was in Dallas. Lakers fall to the Bulls in Chicago 124-108. This Christmas, Paramount Plus delivers the gift of football when the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs host the division rival Raiders. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Christmas Day. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, Fletch with you this beautiful Thursday morning here in San Diego after a little bit of a light rain. We had a pour down in Pacific Beach, and then it just suddenly stopped. But it just, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the smell in the morning after a heavy rain.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm with you 1,000,000%. Did the same thing at our house where sprinkled, very, very light. And then all of a sudden it just dumped on us for about 5 minutes and then it was over with. And now we get to smell wet sage. And I do like that.
Now, is this the San Diego thing where, because everyone's been prepping us for this storm that's supposed to come in tonight?
Yeah, you want to make sure you have batteries and flashlights.
I mean, flood alerts, the whole nine. But is this the San Diego thing like Hurricane Hillary where they warn us that flood of cataclysmic proportions is coming and then we get like a half inch of rain?
Dude, I was building an ark. The crazy thing about that Hurricane Hillary deal was the way it was being covered, and I'm not going to blame anybody or name anybody because
every news network in San Diego.
Look, they didn't know what was going to happen. Okay, it hadn't happened here before.
Sounds like somebody playing from the other side of the fence.
No.
Sounds like someone playing. Drank the Kool-Aid.
And the good news is now you have plenty of batteries. Okay,
dude, we do. So we used none of the batteries for Hurricane Hillary, and now
sandbags
with Santa.
No, I didn't go get any batteries. I didn't go get any flashlights.
I got flashlights. I got batteries. I was nervous about losing power in the house. What we got was one paper plate that was on our picnic table that got left out. Actually fell over and overturned, and there was a bird eating Doritos the next morning, and I was pissed.
My thought was I've got a charger in my car that I can plug in one of the DeWalt batteries.
Right.
So I got a flashlight.
Actually, I have one of those too.
So I can just charge that up. I have like 6 batteries, so I could have light forever. I guess until it burned out.
We bought enough D-cell batteries that we're not going to need to go out pre-Christmas when Santa drops off all of the gifts out of the sack. We got plenty of batteries for the RC cars.
Good.
All right, let's do this. All right, Fletch, why don't you lead us off?
There's going to be a lot of allegedlys here, a lot of reporting here. But have you guys heard of Tyreek Hill?
Oh, I've heard of him.
He's known as the Cheetah.
Wait, what's the name again?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually
Dolphins.
Top 5 leader in MVP odds this year. He's on pace potentially to break 2,000 yards, something a wide receiver has never done in an NFL season before. And some may say that he's actually allergic to defenses. Some may say that a defender simply can't touch him, otherwise he'll drown. That's why he's so fast. He's also allergic to rubbers.
I'm sorry, what?
Tyreek Hill
is allergic to
rubbers.
You mean condoms?
That's exactly what I mean.
Okay, all right. Go on.
Now that's reportedly, allegedly.
This took. I was shocked.
This took a hard left.
Yeah. So Tyreek Hill, he got married on November 8th, 2023. That was during the Dolphins bye week. His wife, it's beautiful. They did the whole thing on the in-season Hard Knocks with the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. Tyreek Hill, beautiful marriage, beautiful wife. She seems very loving. They did an entire episode on Hard Knocks about how their relationship is all about the business, all about trying to push each other to be better. Tyreek Hill also has 3 kids born in the last 4 months from 3 different women, 2 of whom are filing paternity suits against him.
Wow.
So during the honeymoon, I'm assuming he was taking time off to, feed his children from 3 other women. This is the most bonkers story ever.
I mean, do you think that these ladies are making a mountain out of a mole hill?
I don't even know where to go with this.
Tyreek Hill?
All right. You got to take a lap. Okay, that's first and foremost.
For sure.
You for sure have to take a lap. You could get around to that.
Just I'll bank it.
Yeah, you have to bank a lap. Also, here's the crazy thing about me. Like, none of this changes the way I think of Tyreek Hill. Like,
so during the engagement period, though, like I remember my engagement period with Kendall. It was like we were just so happy to be around each other. Well, during Tyreek Hill's engagement period, he was out banging everybody.
Well, okay, I know. Here's my thing, though. Like, there are so many people who are so offended by Tiger Woods cheating on his wife. Like, I never gave it any thought. I was like, well, who cares? That's his own personal business. He's not necessarily. I mean, look, he's destroying his home life, which is a sad thing for him.
3 kids, his 3 baby mamas, 4 months. Come on.
I get it. He's a busy man.
I just with Tyreek Hill, I guess I'm looking at him like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I knew this with Tyreek Hill. Tiger Woods, I think, was more of a surprise
because of the public-facing persona.
Yeah, he's such a clean-cut, nice guy with a sex addiction.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, for sure. They use that term gets thrown around a lot. Mm-hmm. And I mean a lot to explain away behavior. But in Tiger Woods' case, it might have actually matched up.
Right. Was there like 90 women or something like that?
It was up there. Number was high.
I mean, it was more women than Deshaun Watson had masseuses.
Tiger Woods not allergic to latex because he kept things on the up and up.
That's right. Even in December, he gift wrapped.
I said this, I guess a month ago now. We were discussing MVP odds, and Tyreek Hill was storming up the board, receiving yardage wise. And I said, there's no way they're going to give him the MVP because of his past indiscretions. Yeah. He has been like charged with violence against women in his past. That's the reason why his draft stock was decreased. Like the NFL doesn't want to make Tyreek Hill a part of their history. Like they don't want him to be an MVP, so he will not be an MVP.
No, by the way, allegedly, reportedly on all of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Allegedly.
He also allegedly has 7 kids, and from not one woman.
Well, I mean,
how many does he factually have? Not allegedly.
I think 7 kids.
Factually, he does for real?
Yeah, that was what I saw yesterday.
Wait, so does this make allegedly 10?
No, this makes 7.
Okay.
So these last 3 kids born again in the last 4 months would make 7.
Dude, this
guy, I tell you, this sounds awful.
Yeah, that does sound like a nightmare.
Good.
Well, it sounds like he's not really around all that much. That's why 2 of the moms are filing suit against him.
Right. Which again, like things like this can happen, and we can discover, like in many cases, that maybe one side wasn't being 100% truthful. So we'll wait and let the legal system or Maury Povich figure this out.
And he should.
You are not the father.
I miss him so much. Maury, we miss you.
I feel like he would not say that in this particular case. I do not think that would
allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
My morning monologue is gonna be a little different. It's gonna take a different turn, a different path. There's been, and we'll get to this later in the show, but some news stories trickling out about the Padres signings and intrigue based on the roster and the payroll this offseason. I want to prepare everybody mentally for what's most likely going to happen this season. Even though there's going to be a banner waving somewhere in the near distance and a drum beating to remember Peter Seidler and to have a special season for Peter, this is not building in the direction of being a special season for the Padres. And I don't want to throw a wet blanket on anybody's expectation, but this feels like we're being set up. This feels like we are going to be disappointed with what happens this year. And if we're not, I'm going to be delightfully surprised. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go into this with a very San Diego fan attitude. I'm not going to allow myself to get over my skis this year. I'm not going to allow myself to get too far down the path and get around the barn where I'm cheerleading this team as I was prior to last season, because I really thought last season was going to be special.
Yep.
And it was not. That balloon got deflated. And I think that certain changes that were made this offseason had to be made. I think some of them didn't, and some more changes may come that don't necessarily have to based on payroll, because there's a lot of different ways to attack payroll, and we know that because we've seen teams do that for years. But there's going to be a lot of excuses being made by this organization instead of explaining, how they're on this warpath and they're going to go win a World Series. They're going to be talking about how competitive they're going to be. When teams start using that word, we're going to be competitive. We're going to compete.
Yeah.
That's how you know that there's negative, or I should say less optimistic pictures being painted in the heads of the front office people. So I am coming into this next Padres season with very, very low expectations, and I'm going to try to be surprised by what happens.
Well, that's I believe that's what they're trying to set up, because last season they overpromised, they underdelivered. And now if you're a business owner and you're trying to increase your customer service marks, you're trying to increase those reviews on Yelp, then what you want to do is underpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
So they're setting expectations right now, I believe, as low as they can get them, because they want to overdeliver. Now, if they don't and there's still low expectations, that's a big hole to dig out.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, expectations for the Padres are already set. They were set the moment Peter Seidler said the 2020s are the decade of the Padres.
Yeah.
And people are expecting a World Series, the first World Series, to come to this town. And so far that hasn't happened. And unfortunately now it just seems like they're letting bad news sort of trickle out via Dennis Lin, via Kevin Acee. First, it was knocking down the payroll from 256 down to 200 to get back under the South or the CBT. Now they're talking about even recouping what they lost because of the CBT tax last year. So that could knock it down all the way to 150. And it's just more and more the bad news trickles out. And then eventually it feels like the dam is going to break.
You could get real cheap real fast. And we've seen it before. TD, what do you got today?
Well, this is for the scientists and the engineers out there listening.
Oh, boy.
What? Well, come on, look.
Boy, we attacked this morning monologue from a lot of different angles.
Look, it's 2023, boys.
Yeah.
I'm nearing the completion of my 45th trip around the sun.
Okay.
I grew up in a world that promised flying cars, jetpacks.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I get it. We're still working on those. I realize you've created things to hold us over while we waited for, these winged backpacks and rockets strapped to our backs.
Sure.
Like the iPhone. I got to admit, I didn't see that one coming.
Like it.
The Apple Watch.
Thank you, aliens.
Dick Tracy, we saw that one, so I appreciate you delivering. Right, thank you, aliens. But look, I watch how it's made. I've seen the technology. I've seen the mechanics. I've seen the robots. I mean, we have robots delivering food. We have robots that people are trying to marry because they've fallen in love with them.
Sex bots.
That's correct. Look, it's time to use these powers for good and create something that we've all been missing, especially around this time of year. A robot that can take this job away from anybody because nobody wants it. Why don't we have present wrapping robots?
Wow.
Okay. All right. Giant roll of paper. I put a box in. It wraps it for me. Boom. It dumps it out. One issue to every household. I don't care. I don't care who you are running for president. I don't care if your name's on the ballot. You run on present wrapping robots in every household. You got my vote.
Wow.
Actually, they already got him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
They got him?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Apparently, some robot named Yumi can wrap your Christmas gift for you.
Dude,
hold on.
How much does Yumi cost?
Y-U-M-I.
And are you sure it's Yumi and not Yummy? Because the Padres just signed a guy everybody's calling Yuki.
Yeah,
and I think it's Yucky. I'm just saying. And
true.
he's my favorite Padre now.
Well, it's capital Y, lowercase u, capital M-I. That leads me to think you, me.
Did you just Google yummy present wrapping?
No, I Googled present wrapping robot, and Yumi was the first thing that popped up.
Okay.
And Yumi knows how to wrap a Christmas
blow the
gift.
whistle.
This does not look like a present wrapping robot. I don't know what I've clicked on now.
No, you went to the wrong website,
going
buddy.
to jail.
So we should hit halftime.
Yumi wraps Christmas gift.
Well, we got a little Thursday night basketball on the Mesa. Viejas Arena is going to be the scene of Stanford Cardinal taking on the San Diego State Aztecs men's hoops team. Tip-off 6 p.m. tonight. Pregame underway at 5 o'clock. That'll be with Ben Fletcher and John Schaefer. Lead you to tip-off with Ted at 6 on your home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. Also, Rams are playing tonight. That's going to be a 5:15 kickoff on Prime Video. They're going to be hosting the New Orleans Saints at SoFi Stadium as we have a live look at Yumi or Yummy, the present wrapping robot here on the big screen in studio. And that is an efficient robot. That works. Also, we have an update in the Michigan fiasco, Michigan football scandals, the many scandals. Well, this one revolving around the notice of allegations from the NCAA regarding the alleged violations of the football staff during the COVID-19 recruiting dead period. Wolverines coach Jim Harbaugh faces level 1 violations for allegedly not cooperating and misleading the NCAA investigators about alleged violations. Michigan also faces level 2 violations, which are considered less serious. Of course. They also have 2 other scandals that the NCAA is currently investigating. So we'll get to all that at a different time. Also, Shohei Ohtani was selected as Associated Press's Male Athlete of the Year for a second time in 3 years. He also just signed that giant $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I have to admit, as I'm watching this present wrapping robot, it'll take you 45 minutes to have one present wrap.
Yumi can rap while I'm at work.
That's a good point, though. Yeah.
I would just go to town.
This video is 2 minutes long. I feel like 2 minutes is the average it would take me to wrap a gift.
Also true. Yeah.
Okay, hold on, though. What I'm concerned of is who had to place the tape there on the Lego blocks for Yumi. I want this all done without me having to do anything.
Yeah.
What I'm watching right now is impressing the hell out of me.
It's cool, but yeah, there's too much human intervention that needs to be accomplished here.
In my head, it looks like a toaster oven. I set the box inside of the oven, and then I open it, and it's wrapped.
So it's like those on How It's Made, like when they make Kit Kat bars or something, and it sends the chocolate through the enveloping chamber.
Oh, yeah, the enrober.
Enrober.
Ooh, that is. I love that word. I always have.
The chocolate enrober.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to play a little Wheel of Football? We got some time. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, hang on.
It's December.
We got to get it prepped here.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to fire up the thingamabobber 10,000. We're going to play Wheel of Fortune.
Conky?
The Conky 5,000. We're going to play Wheel of Football. We need our intro.
Top storylines are on the board. It's time for the Wheel of Football.
Yes, it's back, and the wheel is spinning. You know what that means? It's going to land on a football topic that we need to discuss. And first up, it looks like, okay. Oh, Fletch, you're going to love this.
Yeah, you know what? Allow me.
Okay.
Because I would like to throw some light onto this one. So Kyle Hamilton is a safety for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
He was on a podcast this week and says that the Ravens are feeling disrespected by the betting lines coming out of this one. So Niners 5.5-point home favorites on Monday Night Football Christmas Day. That one I was okay with. Yeah, you should be disrespected by that. You're the top team in the AFC facing the top team in the NFC. 5.5 is a lot of points. Marlon Humphrey, who is a cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens, he goes on a podcast, and instead of talking about that, says, I don't respect a single person on the 49ers football team.
Ooh.
Thinks they're all jerks and showboats and not that great at football. All right, Marlon Humphrey, you're poking the bear, bro. Good luck.
Wow.
What do they call it when an NFL player gets a target on his back?
Target on his back.
No, there's a phrase for it. I can't remember. Catch a flyer.
A marked man.
Marked man.
Okay.
Marlon Humphrey may be a marked man coming up on Monday night.
I think that's a football term.
Let's ask this question based on that story. So the Ravens feel disrespected. The Niners don't respect the Ravens. Who do you respect in this matchup? Ravens or the Niners?
I mean, I'm scared.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's a healthy respect of the Baltimore Ravens.
If you had to take $100 and you had to on like 100, I'm talking. I didn't even look at the spread in this game. I'm assuming it's close.
5.5.
Okay, and that's Niners favored by 5.5. If you took $100 and you had to put it on one side or the other, money line, which side would you take?
Oh, money line Niners easily. By the way, 5.5 Niners easily, because Niners at home have a habit of beating the crap out of good football teams.
Okay, so you got the Niners. What about you, TD?
I would. Oh, geez, man, oh man, I go back and forth with this. I think the Ravens are going to cause them some problems. But I got to go with the Niners. They're a more complete team. They're a little more trustworthy. I think that that if things start to go wrong for the Ravens, it falls apart. And the Niners just seem a little more stable. I would go Niners on this.
Yeah, I think we're in consensus here. The Niners, they're a team that can play from behind and with the lead. I don't have that type of faith in the Ravens. When Lamar Jackson gets behind, it's a long, hard day at the office. Let's spin that wheel, see what's up next on the wheel of football.
And by the way, there's nothing that say the Niners don't respect the Ravens. Those are two Raven storylines. Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, both on the Ravens.
We're
talking this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the Niners very quiet here in this matchup. What's next?
Yeah,
here?
we're talking about a little bit earlier today. What team will Jim Harbaugh coach for next season?
Okay, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh will coach for the Michigan Wolverines. I think that this is going to be much ado of nothing, because remember, these new allegations that are now out, stating the violations, the many violations of the coaching staff during the COVID dead period, they have 90 days now to respond. And then the NCAA has 60 days. That's 5 months of waiting time with response and rebuttal. That brings us right up to kickoff of the next football season. I don't think the Michigan Wolverines are in any hurry to get rid of Jim Harbaugh, because he might win them a national championship this year. And if the NCAA doesn't put their foot down, which it doesn't seem they are just yet, I think he's going to be back in Michigan.
So the way he's back in Michigan is if Jim Harbaugh wants to spite the NCAA so bad that he's going to make this his final stand. Now, I think when there's this much smoke, there's got to be some sort of fire. I think Jim Harbaugh would prefer to stay at Michigan, but I do think he goes to the NFL, and he is the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Jonas Knox brought this up, and as a team I didn't think about, but works in my head. And I do think he will not be with Michigan next season. I think that they're causing enough problems that he will want to walk away from this. And I think there's going to be some side deals going on that we don't know about, some money exchanged back and forth to make sure that this is a clean cut. The NCAA, they get their message across. Look, we don't stand for this. Meanwhile, Jim Harbaugh will cut ties. He'll walk away with some cash. Everything's going to be great. And he will coach for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Spin that wheel. Let's rock and roll. So Antonio Pierce, second interim coach in a row that the Raiders will allow to move on. Interesting thought there. Okay. The wheel has landed on, I love this storyline. Aaron Rodgers activated by the Jets. The question is, though, will he play again this season?
Answer on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No.
I think he's already said he's not playing again this season.
So he was on, but he hasn't said it. No,
he said it on the McAfee show this week.
I don't think he said it. No, he did not say it. Now, Saleh said he was not going to play this week. I don't know if that meant for
Jets
the remainder
Aaron
of the
Rodgers
weeks.
concedes he won't play again this season.
Okay. All right. I stand corrected.
I heard that audio on Colin's show. He played it from the McAfee show.
I listened to that clip. I interpreted it completely different. I mean, in no way. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, maybe I didn't listen.
What would he want to play for?
Well, that's my point. He started talking about it, and it sounded like, and very Aaron Rodgers form, because it was a very long answer. It sounded like talking in circles. It felt like he gave no guarantee that he was going to play or step foot onto the field this year. Just because he's medically cleared doesn't mean that he's going to go out there. It doesn't mean he's rather.
You want to hear it?
Yeah. Let's hear the whole thing. All right. So again, like I said, he did not confirm or deny that he would be playing or not this season, but it does go a long way to suggest that he won't. I think it would be foolish personally for him to play. And I'm getting the feeling based on what he said during that very long and boring answer he gave on the Pat McAfee show that he is not interested in playing. But yeah, what do we expect? He injured himself week 1 of the season. He tore his Achilles.
Right. And it doesn't matter if he plays. It does nothing for this team. If they win out, they're still in the same boat. But I don't understand, why would you activate him if he's not going to play? You just take up a spot in your roster?
Practice squad.
Yeah, we need him out there to get reps. We're not sure.
That's where he is right now. He's on the practice squad, not full roster.
Yeah, he's done. He should be done if he plays.
He's 40.
If he
was
plays
never going to break the record for the fastest return from an Achilles.
Oh no, I believe if they were in playoff contention, he would have tried to push it, and I think it would have been foolish, like I said before, even if they were in playoff contention. But I mean, there's no way. I mean, that would just be dumb at this point. All right. Coming up next, we have a new face of sports. We'll get into that. But first, I want to talk to you about the Good Feet store. They have a try before you buy free fitting policy. You walk into the Good Feet store and you're looking to get their arch supports. You can test them out before you walk out with them. And here's the reason why you should consider it. If you struggle with any lower body joint pain, your back, your knees, your hips, your feet, your ankles, any of that stuff, my suggestion is just go there, just try it out, see if it's for you, because I had skepticism, to be perfectly honest, but I went in there and I feel like a brand new person on the other side of wearing these arch supports. They've been helping people lives over at the Good Feet store for 30 plus years. They have 200 plus locations around the US and overseas. The first place you should go if you're like me and you were suffering for a long time or a short time with lower body joint pain is goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. He's the best in the world. We'll get into that next.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Aztecs Hoops boys back on the court tonight, taking on Stanford at Viejas Arena. Tickets available at goaztecs.com. Tip off at 6. Pregame coverage gets going at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760. This Christmas, Paramount Plus delivers the gift of football when the defending Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, host the division rival Raiders. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Christmas Day. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
That's beautiful.
It is. It is. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's San Diego Sports 760. We got to do a giveaway, I think, this segment.
Oh, yeah. We do.
Yeah.
We are running low on time, and we're running high on giveaways.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, we got a couple pairs of tickets to the Aztecs taking on Stanford tonight, Viejas Arena. You can try to find tickets at goaztecs.com. Not sure if you will. Might be sold out, but we got a couple pairs for you. So let's do one of those. One of those this segment.
I like that a lot. All right, if you want to see the Aztecs tonight, just be listening for the next few minutes. Want to get into this story. So this came across the ticker this morning. Shohei Ohtani was selected as the Associated Press's Male Athlete of the Year for the second time in 3 years. He won the award in 2021. He's now in a class that includes some of the greatest athletes of all time. Multi-time award winners include Don Budge, Byron Nelson, Carl Lewis, Joe Montana, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps. 4-time honorees include Tiger Woods, Lance Armstrong, LeBron James, and he joined Sandy Koufax on the list as a multiple-time honoree, who was also an LA Dodger great, and now Shohei Ohtani plays for the LA Dodgers with that $700 million contract. I bring this up to ask this question, though. Does Shohei Ohtani deserve it? Like, in your opinion, is he the best male athlete of 2023?
I mean, it's impressive. I would say, yeah, he's in the conversation. I'm not mad that he's named the best male athlete. It's incredible what he's doing. I mean, it's like we've never seen before in Major League Baseball. I don't know how Fletch got snubbed with the Hardwood and Balls Classic. There was a lot of training that went into that.
That's a really good point.
So, I mean, I didn't even see your name there, Fletch.
Yeah, he wasn't even a nominee, which I do. I blame us maybe not for doing a good enough campaign around his. But Fletch, what do you think? Shohei Ohtani, best male athlete 2023?
Who else would it be?
Nikola Jokic. You could always put, I guess, LeBron James. I mean, they won the in-season tournament, Chief.
Big deal.
That's a huge deal.
People online, by the way, defending the hanging of the banner and like getting mad that people are upset about them hanging the in-season banner. Just go look up Kobe Bryant talking about what banners get hung in that arena, and I think you'll be a little pissed off too. But with the Shohei Ohtani thing, I get it because I don't know that there's a whole lot of options out there, and he did just sign a $70 million a year deal. Don't get into the semantics about how much he's actually making over the course of it, how great of a deal that was for the Dodgers. I don't care. $70 million a year is $70 million a year. The dude's getting paid, and he's getting paid because he's the best on earth at what he does. Sure, he deserves it.
I completely agree. Not because of lack of other viable candidates, but more because Shohei Ohtani is doing something, in my opinion, that is underrated in the world of sports. I think Shohei Ohtani is the greatest athlete who's ever lived.
Don't tell that to John Schaefer.
Wow.
He says he's the most overrated athlete to ever live.
I don't know how you can look at what this guy has done.
What?
He's a 2-time MVP win. Yeah, by the way, John
worst take John has ever had. And it's circulating on Twitter again, and I love it. Keep putting that out there.
John got absolutely roasted because he said that about Shohei Ohtani.
This was like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But the clip is going viral again, and I love it.
Shohei Ohtani is not only one of the best hitters in all of Major League Baseball, but he's one of the best pitchers. Now, often injured throughout his short career in the United States, but when he's healthy, when he's 100%, there's no one else like him. People made the Babe Ruth comparison. He's better. He's better. When he's healthy, he's more effective than Babe Ruth. Now, durability is important to me. We've had this discussion before. That's why I'm so impressed with players like Phillip Rivers or Matthew Stafford, who play as long as they do with as much success as they've had. Ben Roethlisberger, a long career. I mean, there's a lot of people who I think will miss out on the Hall of Fame in a lot of sports who shouldn't, and I think that their candidacy revolves around their durability. So we'll see if Shohei Ohtani's durable. But in terms of production, he's a top 10 starting pitcher in Major League Baseball, and he's arguably the best hitter we've seen. I mean, power hitter? Who's better? He's insane.
Right. I just hate that he's on the Dodgers.
Well, yeah,
okay.
Like, it's just going to put a negative tint on Shohei Ohtani for me for the next decade.
Well, you got to take that out of it.
I can't.
Well,
I won't.
I mean, it isn't incredible what he's doing. Look, on both sides of the ball, just to think that there's someone who could do this with such precision and such skill is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I love watching him play. It stinks that he plays for the Dodgers, but there's no argument here.
Hey, we're going to see him 19 times a year.
Oh, boy. And I mean, he may win that AP award a couple more times, unfortunately.
Well, it's also, like most of these things, Hall of Fame, MVP awards, a little bit of it is a popularity contest.
Yes.
And Shohei Ohtani, without a doubt, is, the most famous athlete in Major League Baseball right now. Hands down. Worldwide, he is renowned everywhere. And B, he hasn't done anything wrong yet.
No, it's true. Yeah, he's kept his profile clean. You know, and also the World Baseball Classic win for Team Japan was important too.
Especially the last play of the game was him striking out Mike Trout. Like,
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so he's going to get all the awards, all the money. He literally has all the money. If you're looking for money, the money, it's in Shohei's bank account with his dog. What was the dog again?
Decoy in English.
Decoy.
Oh,
good name.
What is it in not English? Japanese.
Not even going to try.
Please try. Can we look up what that is?
To say decoy in.
Oh, by the way, while you're looking that up, 844.
How do you say it in not English?
Or actually, no. Let's use the new number.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Let's use the new number. 877-760. No. The new number is
Sorg.
877-767-4760. Got that?
Still don't get what's so bad about it.
If you call in right now to that very, very easy to remember number, 877-767-4760, you can win Aztecs tickets tonight, Viejas Arena. They're taking on Stanford. We have a pair to give away now. We have another pair coming up in the show. But if you want to win right now, caller number 5 is going to get those Aztecs tickets. So how do you pronounce this?
I don't know. It's symbols.
Okay. All right. Good point. All right. So it's not spelled out phonetically. Can you put the volume up and have Google say it?
I can't do it without hearing us.
All right. We'll all shut up. You just hold up the speaker to the microphone.
Okay. Decoy. Now batting, Shohei Ohtani.
I will pull the audio of Shohei Ohtani saying his dog's name, and we'll play it next.
Shohei, me the money.
3 laps for TD.
Wow, he's going to be a busy boy.
3 laps?
Coming up on the other side, along with Shohei Ohtani giving us his dog's name, we have a horrifying holiday statistic that could derail your Christmas celebrations in the worst way possible. Hold on to your Yule log. Let's just leave it there. And also, if you're looking for a holiday present for somebody who really deserves it, head on down to your San Diego County Toyota dealer. They have cars, trucks, SUVs available. The 2024 models are out now. They make it incredibly easy to find the Toyota that's just right for you. If you're looking for a great deal on a Toyota, make sure to visit Toyota.com. You can check out all the latest offers, compare models, search inventory, find the Toyota that's just right for you. It all starts at Toyota.com. That's actually kind of where the search started for me too. I was looking for a reliable car. I was having a bunch of breakdowns with my old vehicle, and everybody was saying, hey, you got to get Toyota. So I went to a San Diego County Toyota dealer after checking them out online, and was met with a really friendly sales guy. Didn't feel like I was pushed into anything. Ended up driving off the lot that day with a brand new 4Runner, and I haven't looked back. The car's been awesome over the past 5 years. It runs like a tank, and all you see now is Toyota drivers on the road. You will be a part of the pack. So again, if there's somebody special in your life that needs a new car, truck, or SUV, head on down to your San Diego County Toyota dealer today. Coming up next, a holiday statistic that, frankly, it'll have you shaking in your Santa boots. That's next. It's a little jarring, but I like this a lot.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Got some new promotions going on. All right.
Speaking of jingle bells.
Yeah. This is going to be a toff one.
Careful.
What?
You're about to get your fourth lap. Because I know you're about to make a dad joke with jingle balls.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this article really quick here. We're down on time. We have Holiday Bowl tickets coming up next hour. We've got Aztecs hoops tickets coming up next hour.
How about Foulmouth Carey winning the last pair of Aztecs?
Yeah,
nice. Good win for Carey.
Foulmouth Carey.
Okay, so check this out.
Nice.
So a university out of Munich has a lead urologist named Nicolaus Piragaides. Okay.
And Rich, tell the listeners what a urologist does.
They study dongs. Urology is the study of the privates. Okay.
That's right. They look at so many.
Apparently, the holiday season, by studies, is the time where the most men injure their penises. Okay.
Well, but it makes sense. It gets cold, right?
Well, I think that's it. So
shrinkage.
According to the Guardian,
I just mean they have to warm up somehow.
This is a quote from Nicolaus. This injury, this is a urology professor. This is an esteemed studier of wieners. He says this injury tends to occur during wild sex, particularly in positions where you're not in direct eye contact with your partner, such as reverse cowgirl. This guy actually named positions. I'm not 100% why eye contact is like the chief concern.
Yeah, don't know either. However, he also said that the injury, once it happens, it now looks like an eggplant.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, it turns black?
Yeah, and...
Well, for many, that's a dream anyways.
Exactly. That is very true. Also, isn't it odd that is the emoji of choice?
Wow. Yeah, right? Good point, too.
Right.
Okay.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he says it often looks like an eggplant. If every day was like Christmas, this is a direct quote. 43% more penile fractures would have occurred in Germany from 2005 on. For whatever reason, Christmas Day.
I got a real question about the legitimacy of this study.
There's so many gifts.
This is from the university.
There are TikTok videos going viral now. I mean, I love social media for certain reasons. This is a great one. But there's just a guy sipping his morning coffee. He goes, "Never kiss mom on Christmas morning." That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Okay, no easy segues
she
here.
hasn't brushed her teeth.
That's right. That's right. Look, that's right.
Merry Christmas, kids.
Anyways.
And a Happy New Year.
Just wanted to give everybody a couple of stats to chew on. Okay. We have Thursday Night Football coming up. We have to get into this NFC wildcard battle between the Saints and the Rams.
It is wild.
Padres made a signing. If you haven't heard about it, we'll get there. We'll revisit the Michigan fiasco. Bottom of the barrel still to come next hour. 2 pairs of tickets, one to the Holiday Bowl, one to Aztecs Hoops. But before any of that, I want to talk to you about a different doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental. If you're looking for a world-class dentist where all procedures are done in the same office, and I mean all procedures with state-of-the-art technology, then look no further than my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental. Head to oceanviewdental.net. See the before and after pictures. That's the most stunning thing. If you need major dental work, this is the only place you should go. Dr. Colby is the only dentist you should trust. So I spoke to my former dentist about a procedure where I was going to have 3 implants put in, a tooth extraction. They told me it was going to take 18 months. I went to Dr. Jordan Colby on the recommendation from LaDonna Harvey here at Kogo News, and he told me it'll take 3 months. I was like, how is it possible? He was like, well, we do everything here. You're not going to go visit, an imaging office. You're not going to come back to me and then have to, go through the procedure details and then go see somebody else for the oral surgery. Everything happens in my office, from imaging to the surgery to the implanting. Every single visit was at Ocean View Dental, and it took 3 months. It took less than 3 months. It was incredible. He is now my family's dentist. His motto, no matter your situation, he can help you create a confident and healthy smile, and in many times in just a single day. He's had tons of 24-hour complete makeovers of mouths that, again, if you see the before pictures, you don't think there's possible to save them. And then on the other side, you see a healthy smile. He's got all the latest toys and tools, the advanced dental technology. We won't get into specifics, but everything is right there in the office. Oceanviewdental.net. That's oceanviewdental.net.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. We will start off here with Aztecs Hoops. Boys back on the court tonight, taking on Stanford at Viejas Arena. The game is sold out, but we got a pair of tickets for you coming up this hour. Tip-off at 6 o'clock tonight. Pre-game coverage gets going at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760. In the NFL, Week 16 kicks off tonight. Rams Saints at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Rams 4.5-point favorites at home. Both teams 7-7, fighting for a playoff spot in the crowded NFC. This Christmas, Paramount Plus delivering the gift of football when the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs host the division rivals, the Raiders. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Christmas Day. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, Fletch with you on a Thursday morning here, and we are thrilled to be here. We are just a day away, really hours away, from a very special Big Rich, TD, and Fletch Christmas spectacular.
Oh my gosh.
We couldn't book a reindeer. We couldn't book a reindeer, but we got the next best thing.
We did. Yeah.
So that we have a furry friend coming and joining us in studio. Also, Jared Smith, your NFL betting analyst, is going to get you set for your holiday bets. We're thrilled to have him as a part of it. Also in studio, Tony Kanja, Keg and Bottle on a Bar Cart Friday holiday edition. We're all going to bring in. It's a potluck. Bring your own cocktail.
That's right.
We're going to make our favorite holiday spirit based cocktail in studio. Tony is actually going to do his as well.
We got a gift exchange to do.
Gift exchange.
Now, are we telling each other about the cocktails beforehand so we don't run the risk of
that's actually a good idea.
Drink?
After the show today, we'll have a powwow.
Yeah, we need a group text with Tony Kanja. Everyone figures out what we're doing.
Right.
I think that's smart.
Right. It's also strange how many people do not have a reindeer that they could provide.
Yeah, we let's put it this way. We wore out like dial pads on phones around the station trying to find someone who could bring a reindeer in studio. Apparently, that's frowned upon in the reindeer community.
Yeah, really weird.
So Travis was
not
doing
part of the Christmas spirit.
A long Big Rich TD tradition, Big Rich TD and Fletch tradition during the commercial break, and didn't include any of us on the fun. So can we just bring it to the air real quick?
Yeah, not a problem. Also, was not my account. Okay.
Is that the Big Rich TD and Fletch account?
That was, yes.
On Instagram or TikTok?
That was Instagram, Big Rich TD and Fletch, as I was trying to post to our story to talk about what we had coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, and was gifted, since it's Christmas time, Michaela Dancer, who we tagged.
We know her.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, we're buddies on Instagram.
Well, I got 2.5 minutes of cheesy porn music, so let's play How Many Swipes to a Butt.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. Okay, so clear out TikTok that it's open.
Okay.
And a fresh batch. All right.
And this is how it's played if you want to play at home. Open TikTok, see how many swipes it takes to see your first butt.
Right.
Because TikTok is the butt app.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Swipe number 1.
Oh, and make sure you're on your own profile, not
yes.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, hang on. Here we go.
What? What's gross?
Well, I got the swipe number 9, and it's weird images of birds with butts.
Oh, dude,
that
I'm
works.
on swipe number 4.
Oh, wow.
Does this count?
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm at 8, 9, 10, 11,
dude,
12.
So I won it. I'm the creep.
You are the pervert.
I'm the pervert.
Congratulations, Big
18,
Rich.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Like, I'm not getting butts. I'm getting sausage.
Oh, dude.
This could be the longest ever. Just heads up.
On my 7th swipe, I got a butt. On my 4th swipe, I got a butt. Okay, yeah. And then on my 12th swipe, I have a lady holding a cucumber. Good Lord. Okay, I'm going to put my phone down now.
I am at 33 swipes. 34.
Lots of Bill Belichick on my TikTok feed today. Did something happen with him?
No. Well, actually, somebody made a Christmas carol using only Bill Belichick edited clips. Do you want me to find it and put it on the rundown? Okay, hang on. It's actually kind of fun. Hang on. Belichick, Christmas.
All right, Travis, you lose.
Yeah, my algorithm is way off. Yeah.
You gotta lock it in,
Okay,
man.
I mean,
You need to look at more butts.
I don't know what this is, but it wants me to buy this.
Oh my God, yeah.
What's going on?
Maybe something for you and Sarah this Christmas holiday.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, it's in the 8:00 hour, Fletch. That is the link to the Christmas caroling that somebody put together for Bill Belichick, and here it is. That is not it.
I don't think that's it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I was ready for that to go somewhere.
Music. Wait, Bill Belichick singing.
I may be at 100 swipes right now.
No way.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen so many Cybertrucks in my life.
It's an ad. But it works.
Okay, the best part about the video is the times where it's silent and it's just Belichick looking.
Yeah, just mean mugging whoever is asking a question in the pool of reporters. Also, when you type in Belichick singing, like the third or fourth video down is Bailey Zappi singing along on the sideline to the stadium PA system playing Stacy's Mom.
I hope that was when they were playing the Jets.
By the way,
yeah, he had thrown 2 touchdowns.
No, because of Zach Wilson's mom.
Oh,
he's got it going on.
She certainly does. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yes. What? Huh? Oh, you asked me yesterday, Fletch. Hey, you're going to sing a song, right? And I mean, I know 2 Christmas songs. One of them I sang last year. The other one's Jingle Bells, which I don't feel like is a solid Christmas performance.
Like you have a little practicing to do tonight.
Yeah, so I'm like, I got to
bring that guitar, brother.
Oh, yeah. First of all, bring in the guitar. Whether you play it or not, just holding it while you sing the tune is good for social media.
Okay, good.
And also, I mean, who doesn't look cool when they're just holding a guitar? I think we should all
probably me
turns. No, you look really cool. I think we should all take turns holding the guitar and doing cool stuff while we're holding it.
That's true.
Like even if you're just taking a sip of a cocktail, like everything looks cooler with an acoustic guitar in your hands.
One of our best and diehard listeners, Paris, who's on his way to Las Vegas this morning, drive safe, Paris. He has a comment about our last segment we did. That urology segment really sucked, guys.
Okay, take a lap, Paris. You take a lap. You know exactly what you did.
He needs to pull over and take a lap, just even if it's around the car.
Yeah. You know what you did.
Right.
Thursday Night Football tonight. We've got the Saints visiting SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. We were talking to Jonas Knox about this, and I actually think he said something really illuminating and accurate. He said, what I think will come of this game is the story is more important than the game will be. Like, the game is not going to be something that blows your doors off. He's like, I'm guessing a 13-10 final. Like, it's going to be a whole lot of defense and a whole lot of nothing else. But whoever ends up surviving this game and winning has a heads-up tiebreaker against a team they're fighting for a wild card position for. Saints right now on the outside looking in still could potentially win the NFC South division if they stack up enough wins overall. Also, the Rams holding on for dear life to that 7th seed in the NFC wildcard chase.
So both divisions right now have super interesting wildcard races because there's on both sides, there's a roadblock of teams. On the AFC side, it's a bunch of teams at 8-6. On the NFC side, it's a bunch of teams at 7-7. Well, the 2 teams playing tonight, the Rams and the Saints, are both at 7-7 right now. And by the way, the leader of the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are also at 7-7. So the Saints need to keep building up wins in order to take over the NFC South. Meanwhile, the Bucs would be put right into the position of the Saints.
Quick timeout. Sorry. I do want you to finish that thought. Somebody just texted in, Randy's Donuts, what do you want? So what's your favorite donut, Fletch?
Old fashioned, I think. Maple.
Okay, yeah. What's yours?
Wait, old fashioned or maple?
Wait, who's giving us Randy's donuts?
I have no idea. Somebody just texted this in, so just name your favorite donut.
I just, you know what I like is just a glazed donut.
You like a glazed donut?
Yeah.
What do you
old
like?
Fashioned.
Okay, I like the what do they call it? Oh, with the buttermilk.
The buttermilk. Oh, it's
buttermilk
solid. Do
glaze.
they have those at Randy's?
Yeah. Oh, and they're fantastic. Buttermilk glaze is my favorite donut. Or if you want to get festive, a cronut anytime, day or night is absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
Okay, back to the Saints, Rams, 7-7 teams battling it out. Go.
Okay, so right now, just looking on the NFC side of the docket here, there are the Buccaneers at 7-7. The Saints are at 7-7. The Seahawks 7-7. So you got 3 teams right there. Vikings 7-7. 4 teams that are all at the same record with 3 weeks to go. Remember, there's 10 playoff spots of the 14 that are still open, whether it's on the NFC or AFC side. And I just think that these 3 weeks have a potential to be really, really magical depending on what happens.
Boy, you nailed it. The NFL has one thing and one thing alone, because baseball's not like this. NBA basketball is definitely not like this. The end of the regular season in college hoops isn't like this because so many teams get in. So many of the end of the season, regular season matchups aren't all that important. Sometimes you can turn
in the college basketball regular season. When you get into the conference tournaments, you get the Big East tournament going on at the same time as the ACC.
I was going to say the tournaments.
Those are
I consider that postseason. That's not regular season play.
Yeah, but do you ever like match that up against the NBA in-season tournament?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet because honestly, this is our first opportunity.
But I get what the majority of America doesn't care about conference tournaments. They care about their conference's tournament. In the NFL, every NFL fan could be extremely locked into every single game all the way into the final week of the season.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the best regular season sports has to offer. So you're absolutely right. These last 3 weeks of the NFL season, week 16, week 17, week 18, they're going to be crucial matchups all the way throughout.
Okay, and to your point, the Rams tonight, if you're talking about what's on the line for them in a Thursday night matchup, that very well could end 13-10 with the winner getting 13 points. The Rams, if they win tonight, have a 71% chance to make the postseason. If they lose tonight, they have a 15% chance to make the postseason.
It's outrageous how consequential these final games are going to be for so many different teams. And so many teams that when you started the season, your feeling was, that's a division winner. Or, they'll be a 10-win team. Like the Bills. The Bills are on the outside.
Bills, by the way, this week, if they win, they're going to play against the Chargers this week. If they win, they have a 71% chance of getting in. If they lose, 27%. Saints tonight with a lot on the line. If they win, 69%. Nice. If they lose, 23%. So you're talking every single game, and these percentages are going to get wackier and wackier as we go on over the last 3 weeks. But NFL fans, congratulations. You are going to have a hell of a 3 weeks.
Just look at the top of the AFC too. Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are the only team that have absolutely 100% clinched playoffs. Other teams can be potentially knocked out, including the Dolphins with 10 wins and the Chiefs with 9. Everything would have to go wrong for those teams. But still, we're talking about a potentiality of the first place team, especially with Baltimore facing the Niners, falling to the third or no, probably not the fourth, but the third place overall in the AFC, and the Chiefs or the Dolphins have an opportunity to get the first round bye on the NFC side. It doesn't look like a very close race right now the way the Niners have been playing, but if Baltimore finds a way, all of a sudden it gets way more interesting. Dallas Cowboys playing against Miami. Detroit Lions, 10 wins also, just behind the Niners at 11 wins.
Eagles get the Giants twice for the last 3 games.
This is insanity.
What's the other game they have?
It's Cardinals, maybe.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. They do not have a hard schedule on the way out here.
No, they don't.
But they've had a brutal schedule over the last 4 weeks, which is why they've lost 3 straight.
And they haven't done well. We're looking at I was looking at the Steelers because it's important to me with the Pocket Chip Challenge.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
They're 7-7, right? Is that where they're sitting?
You need them to win out.
Yes. Now, hold on. 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, they were 6-3.
I know.
I was set up for success.
The Steelers, at one point this season, we were talking about them not only potentially winning the North, but potentially be in the conversation for maybe one of the higher seeds heading into the postseason.
And be one of those surprise teams
against the Patriots, which I don't think would shock any of us. If the Patriots can somehow beat the Steelers this week, the Steelers would drop down to a less than 1% chance to make the postseason.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah.
It's the best regular season in sports. There's nothing even close. We'll get back to the Michigan headline on the other side of halftime. And also be listening. We still have 1 pair of tickets to the Holiday Bowl, 1 pair of tickets to Aztecs Hoops tonight.
Well, we're just talking about it. Thursday night football tonight. Saints and Rams. Major playoff implications here. Rams have the 7 seed, but if they lose, the Saints are going to take that seed. We got another Saturday game this week, boys. Bengals at Steelers. We're just talking about them as well. But you got to subscribe to Peacock if you want to watch it.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys
Who
already
isn't subscribed to Peacock?
I would say a lot of people are not subscribed to Peacock.
That's the only place you can rewatch The Office.
Oh, I don't have the Peacock. I don't have the Peacock app.
I'll give you mine.
Peacock is great. I'm sure Peacock will be very happy about this.
No. He means an actual Peacock, right, Fletch? You own an actual Peacock. That's how they sound.
That's actually how they sound.
How does Pistol Pete the Penguin sound?
And then could you just give us one gobble real quick?
You know what? For the next time you owe a lap TD, you don't have to do one because you're a magical human being.
That's just fucking amazing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Okay, for the end of the year this year, I'm going to make a compilation of every time we have to dump Rich.
Oh, God. I don't know if you have enough time.
The last 2 were so blatant.
Sorry. I mean,
oh, God.
How many years have you been in radio?
Long enough to know not to do that.
The Jets have activated Aaron Rodgers. Then they immediately said he won't play, but he is taking a spot on the roster, and the player who got cut, his wife is now taking to social media and saying he'll be okay. But guys, are we sure we want to make her mad?
No, I'm not sure we want to make her mad. I think we want to make her happy.
Look.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I want to see the pretty girl.
Yeah. We need to get him back in a Jets jersey.
Stat.
I mean, immediately.
Right.
Okay.
Look.
Wait a second. Actually, hang on.
Wait.
Do I know this guy?
His name is Bowden. Can't remember the first name.
He's a San Diego State former fullback.
Yeah, Nick Bowden.
Nick Bowden.
Bowden. That's what I was going to say. Everybody knows him.
Well, congratulations.
Joe Musgraves. He's a man.
By the way, congratulations to Nick Bowden.
Correct.
Things are going well. Trust us.
Right. NBA, Celtics beat the Kings 144-119. Clippers beat the Mavs 120 to, was it 111? I only put 2 numbers there.
Can't remember.
Bulls take down the Lakers 124-108. And Pacers smack the Hornets.
Wow.
144-113.
Also coming out of college football, University of Michigan has received a notice of allegations from the NCAA regarding violations stemming back to the COVID dead period in recruiting and coaching.
Travis Dale is back to even with the laps. He said, smack the Hornets.
Yeah, you know.
What? You do it all on purpose. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, why not? Come on, the people love it.
You know what's so infuriating about gigantic bureaucratic corporate entities like the NCAA?
I did not think you were going with there at all. I was like, go on.
Is how long everything takes.
Yeah.
I mean, we are discussing Michigan University Wolverines head coach Jim Harbaugh is now being given his list of violations from the COVID-19 dead period that occurred in the offseason leading up to the 2020 football season. What?
It's ridiculous. You're right. I mean, and you're now so far past this that people don't care.
Yeah.
So you're digging up stuff that it's so inconsequential now. I don't think anyone cares about this except for college football, who wants to send a message and anything they can find to bring to the table and go, see, this is why we have to do this, is why we're hearing about it now. Otherwise, bury it.
And keeping college football relevant during this time of year where we just described how powerful the NFL is going to be over the next 3 weeks, college football keeping their name at the top of ESPN, good for them, whatever, even though this is like a bad look. But my theory on this whole thing, you look around any of these head coaches or any of these programs at the Power 5, the top of the top in college football, and you dig, and you don't have to dig that deep. You're going to find something suspension worthy for either during the COVID times or during their advanced scouting that they're not supposed to be doing. No matter what you dig, you're going to find something.
I agree with everything you just said, except for the idea that bad news is still news, and therefore it's like a positive thing for college football. Because this storyline, what this does is erode trust from bettors in college football, which is one of the most important things to have, is people interested in betting on your product. With sports betting being legalized state to state, people having opportunities to go to their favorite gaming app or their sports book on their phone, you can't have people having any sort of lack of faith or trust in the integrity of the game, which is a reason why they're going after Jim Harbaugh in the first place. And secondarily, because influential people around college football, coaches, namely athletic directors, presidents, wealthy donors, people with huge sway and influence, are coming after Michigan football because guess why? They're winning. If Michigan football had the same record as, I don't know, Illinois over the past 5 seasons, nobody would care. But they've been successful.
Quick text before we hear about TD's truck from the 913. You guys got a new call-in number, but you're keeping the text line, right? Yes, 70470, starting your message with team. Jeremy, beautiful family man. Thank you for the Christmas card. But yes, text line staying the same.
Awesome. Sweet. Actually, when I was looking to buy a new truck, I wanted something that if I got a boat, it could tow it no problem. If I'm doing some work, I need to hook up a trailer, it tows it no problem. And I looked around at a lot of different trucks and went, maybe it's marginal, but why am I shopping like this? Let me just go get a truck that I know is going to knock it out of the park every single time I get in the thing, because not only is it a workhorse, but it's a beautiful ride. I'm talking about my GMC. And look, I've had a couple GMC Sierras, Sierra 1500s. I have driven the wheels off them. The last one I sold with over 244,000 miles on it. It is fantastic, and the dealership of choice, North County Cadillac GMC. And I'm not the only one sitting here touting North County Cadillac GMC, because they were voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. So they're good, right? Reputable people. In fact, the GM over there, Jamie, and his team, you go over there and just ask for Jamie. He's going to hook you up. You're going to save big this December on Cadillac and GMC models. So it doesn't matter. If you're looking for a car, a truck, or an SUV, they're going to take care of you. And I promise you, you pick up a Cadillac or a GMC, you're picking up the best car, truck, or SUV on planet Earth. So don't wait, because you run that time. You got 4 shopping days left? Are we that? If we count today, 4 shopping days left to pick up a new truck, car, or SUV for the holiday season. Put it in the driveway, big red bow. You can be like those commercials when they walk out, you show your wife, this is what I got you. And everybody loves you. Right. Visit North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall to test drive and experience vehicles like that GMC Sierra 1500, or you can shop their huge selection of inventory online. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time. We got some Padre news we got to get to coming up next.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Starting off with Aztecs hoops, boys back on the court tonight, taking on Stanford at Viejas Arena, third Pac-12 team they've played so far this season. They beat the other two. Tickets available at goaztecs.com. Actually, they're not. It's sold out, but you can get resale tickets somewhere. Tip-off at 6. Pregame coverage gets going at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760, and keep listening to win a pair of tickets to that game. In the NFL, Week 16 kicking off tonight, Rams Saints at SoFi Stadium in L.A., Rams 4.5-point favorites at home. Both teams 7-7, fighting for a playoff spot in a crowded NFC. This Christmas, Paramount Plus delivering the gift of football when defending Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs, host their division rival Raiders. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Christmas Day. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Big Rich, Edie, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Not our Christmas show, not yet. The Christmas Spectacular will take place tomorrow. It is going to be magnificent in every way. We have some surprises. We have a gift exchange to do. We have a lot of fun guests coming in, so it's going to be good times. And, of course, it is a Bar Cart Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. And did we forget to do a giveaway again?
7 minutes, Aztecs tickets.
Okay, there we go. 7 minutes, Aztec tickets. They're taking on Stanford tonight, Viejas Arena. GoAztecs.com if you're looking for some tickets and information. But not sold out now as they release some tickets. Is that what you found?
Game is sold out.
Okay.
You can get verified resale tickets places. I think there's even a link to that on GoAztecs.com. But it's another sellout at Viejas Arena, which becomes more and more impressive when the students aren't there. So it's not like the show is going to be full of crazy San Diego State students. It's families around San Diego buying these tickets.
Big thank you to Bob, listener Bob.
Yeah, Bob Armstrong, who is a listener who had us name, this is not a joke, his mom's tumor, which we named it Krang when she was going through some radiation and some surgery.
By the way, any of you out there who would like us to name your mom's cancerous tumor, we're happy to do so.
We are thrilled.
Right.
And
I don't think it was cancerous, right?
It might have been benign. I forget.
Either way.
She survived it. So Mama Bobby,
Nicely
Bob
done.
Armstrong, and Krang, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He stopped by Randy's Donuts this morning, and he got us some donuts. So let's hand these out. Let me crack the seal on this sucker.
By the way, I went and got some coffee in the break room, and there was a new flavor, Love Monkey.
Oh, interesting.
And I was not expecting it. I think it's chocolate raspberry.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at
that.
Bobby, thank you, brother.
Wow.
Holy
There's like a maple golden graham. It looks like a chocolate and fruity pebble. There's a s'mores. There's a Christmas tree. There's my glazed donut. Nobody touched that thing. And then that looks like a red velvet.
Dude, I am so pumped for the next radio break. This is going to be phenomenal.
Should we just break early?
Well, no, we have some breaking news coming out of
it.
We have some breaking news coming out of the NFL that I want to get our reactions on film. So go ahead, hit record.
We're recording?
We're good.
Okay, now let's do a clap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Better.
Yeah.
You guys a big fan of the Pro Bowl games last year?
Yeah, I
thought they were better.
They were fun,
Yeah,
right?
they were better,
They had the dodgeball, the like kind of American Ninja Warrior gauntlet,
the
all those
skills
things.
competition.
Right.
They're hitting a home run here.
Okay.
At least that's what I think.
Tyreek Hill involved?
No, they've introduced a new They've introduced a new competition exclusively for defensive linemen this year.
Baby making. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing.
There is going to be a defensive lineman tug of war.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's just really quick off the top of your heads. What would be a Pro Bowl activity that you would need to see? For me, beer pong.
Yeah,
top of my
I like
list.
that. I like that.
Well, Taylor Lewan and the Bussin' with the Boys, they did a beer Olympics for a bunch of NFL players, and it was one of the most captivating YouTube videos I've ever watched.
Well, let's bring it to the Pro Bowl. Why are we waiting for this? Let's do flip cup. Let's do beer pong. Let's do dude, you know what I would love? Even though they're already like 300, 400 pounds, but if you get offensive and defensive line in those giant sumo suits, can you imagine like
that'd be good. That'd be a good call.
Like the birthday party sumo wrestling.
Very true. Yeah, I'd like that.
Mechanical bull riding. I mean, I'm sorry.
Still go on. I still think a long drive competition would be fun to see. Just go out there and blast the thing. Also, we were talking American Gladiators the other day. That little arena with the tennis balls where they shot at them.
Tennis ball launcher.
Let the fans shoot tennis balls.
The platform pugil sticks.
Oh my gosh. Joust.
Okay,
Joust. The joust.
Yeah. This is going to be tug of war, offensive, defensive linemen, teams of 5. Who are your draft picks?
Ooh.
Wow.
Let's just go around in a circle real quick. It's AFC, NFC.
Aaron Donald, he doesn't have as much lead in the pencil as other interior defensive linemen, but he's just a monster of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has to be on the list.
I think you got to have Jason Kelce there, but he goes reverse like it's tush push.
Oh, good point. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
So he's facing the wrong direction.
Correct. He can be the anchor.
How could you not have Myles Garrett on the team?
Myles Garrett for sure.
He might be my first person.
Yeah, just for intimidation. How about Penei Sewell from the Detroit Lions?
Ooh.
Thick fella.
Ooh. Who's the dude on the Cowboys? 71, I think. Tyron Smith. He looks like a freaking monster.
That's an anchor right there.
He could be an anchor. And then what is the big dude? Oh, Jordan Mailata, the left tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Quentin Nelson.
Oh, yes. Quentin, Big Q.
He might be slamming a beer while he's doing it.
Travis Kelce has to be there, though, because that would bring not Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, because that would still bring Taylor Swift that they could show.
Trent Williams.
They could show on TV.
Oh, Trent Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, like
the biggest dog in the NFL.
1,000% Trent Williams. I love it, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is that something you would have wanted to do?
Yeah,
way more than like playing in an actual game.
I would not play in the game. If there was the opportunity just to do the skills position composition or whatever you call it, the skills competition at the Pro Bowl instead of playing the game, I would just elect to do that.
So this is going to be like the main feature for linemen who are drafted to the Pro Bowl this year because they don't get to play really in the flag football game.
Very cool. You know what they should do though? They really want to step this up. They really want to put the eyeballs on it. They go Squid Game style. Mm-hmm. So Squid Game challenge. You don't have to die, but Squid Game challenge where you fall off a ledge.
That's what it is. So it's over a foam pit, the tug of war.
But the foam pit needs to be 50 feet in the air.
Red light, green light. Have the doll from Squid Games on the field.
That would be awesome.
Red light, green light with all of the offensive and defensive line.
Come on.
I'm into that
Did you guys watch the Squid Game challenge?
I watched it. I didn't like it as much as the show.
No, not the TV show. The
challenge.
The Netflix
challenge.
one.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it at first, and then I got really into it, and I really liked it.
I don't know.
So some people are coming out who played in it on TikTok now and talking about some of the conditions that they like. These were like 9-hour days of shooting for one competition, and they weren't getting food, or if it was food, it was like a tiny peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I guess so that competition you're talking about, the red light, green light one, took over 6 hours to film. They would be standing still for like 45 minutes at a time.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because it looks like they're just pelting them with paintballs.
It looks like it takes 6 minutes for it to finish.
Yeah. No.
Well, it was supposed to be a 10-minute competition, but what they had to do is when they stopped the red light, they would stop the timer because they had to go back to the video and see who moved.
Oh my God.
So people were just standing there, sometimes on one foot, trying to hold completely still for like 45 minutes at a time.
Oh, the one girl,
I remember, for $4.6 million. I'd stand there on one foot for 6 hours.
Which, by the way, like, you sign up for the show and then you lose. You sound like an uber loser if you're like, and you know what we had to do? We had to stand, and they only gave me a sandwich. Oh, you mean a free sandwich? Okay.
Speaking of game shows, by the way, Survivor finale last night, fantastic season. Jeff Probst, congratulations, man.
Wow.
Master Distiller, I got to watch that. That was cool. Came back. Yeah. You guys ever watched that on Discovery Channel?
I definitely have never watched it, but that's now from doing Bar Car Friday, which coming up tomorrow.
Right.
Tony Conchi coming in, keg and bottle. I love what we've learned here.
Right.
So that sounds like a show that'd be
especially about moonshine.
Yeah,
we've learned a lot about
moonshine.
Hey guys, in the last 3 weeks since I've been telling our audience about prizepicks.com/Fletch for our first match deposit up to $100, but in the last 3 weeks since I've been telling you about Prize Picks, I'm up $768. $768 in the last 3 weeks just talking about Prize Picks. And for me, playing Prize Picks, it's the #1 daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It's because it's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. I just made my stat projection for tonight's Thursday night football game. I got Matthew Stafford going less than 249 yards, Derek Carr less than 233 yards. I got a couple demons on tonight to make the winnings a little more profitable. Alvin Kamara, Cooper Kupp, I have both of them scoring touchdowns. Kyron Williams less than 91.5 rushing yards. Taysom Hill more than 4 fantasy football points. So pause the free iHeartRadio app, rewind to set your lineup alongside with me, because Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. And now I can play during basketball season too. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You can do it in less than 60 seconds. I did earlier today. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Earlier this week, I withdrew my winnings on Sunday. They were in my bank account Monday morning. Again, in the 3 weeks since I've been telling you about Prize Picks, I'm up $768. PrizePicks.com/Fletch. PrizePicks.com/Fletch. First deposit match up to $100.
Coming up next, it's Bottom of the Barrel. We got to scrape this sucker clean. Hey, yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody who is already starting your travel and your vacation has began, and you got the kiddos in the car. You're heading out to visit with Santa at one of the many malls across this great nation.
Right. Right.
We get it. We know there's going to be a lot of dads waiting in lines listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app over the course of the next couple of days. We get it. We're with you.
Yep.
Hang in there, fella. Just hold the bags and smile.
You know,
it's only for a little bit longer.
My favorite stories from our listeners are when they talk about having their AirPods in, listening to our show around their kids and around their wife, and they start busting up laughing in the middle of it, and the wife looks at them, and it's the same look we all get from our wives when we're texting each other. Like, what the hell are you laughing at?
Right. They're not.
Right.
They
These idiots are children.
They cannot say it out loud. What they're laughing at, unfortunately. All right, bottom of the barrel today. Very important, guys.
Yeah.
Also, we have one more pair of tickets to give away. Is it Holiday Bowl?
Holiday Bowl.
Holiday Bowl
We
coming
got
up.
Scott and Carrie, who won Aztecs tickets tonight.
Right
Congratulations.
on. Right. Budweiser Scott?
Not Budweiser Scott.
Okay.
We got
All right.
like 4 Scotts.
Okay.
We have so many Scotts.
Scott. Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Great Scott.
We're glad for you, Great Scott. We do have those Holiday Bowl tickets, so if you want to win a pair, keep listening. We'll give the app listeners an opportunity here as well. We'll give you a time to call in at. Do not call now, though. Call in when we tell you to, which will be in a couple of minutes here. All right. Bottom of the barrel, Switzerland. Making a change. Now, turns out you're not only going to be skiing on the Alps.
there's not just white powdery snow. They're going to legalize cocaine.
Wow.
I mean, that's where you go to party. Oh, I'm sorry. They're considering a plan to legalize cocaine. However, once you start talking about it,
oh, it's done.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you're on your way.
It's kind of like
the
retirement.
country?
Yeah. Once you start saying, I might retire, you're retired,
Right.
bud.
What's the country you can just go get like LSD at coffee shops?
Amsterdam?
Amsterdam, yeah. Yeah.
Isn't everything legal there? It's just free for all.
Portland, Oregon has just like legalized just about everything.
Yeah, they're.
Well, haven't they decriminalized everything? So you're not getting in trouble for it.
Oh, maybe that's it.
But it's not
legal.
like regulated.
Yeah.
So I think the thing
Right.
with Switzerland is
So fix
probably
the
to make
ticket.
sure there's no fentanyl in it. 'Cause
Okay,
it's
so it
just killing
says-
everybody.
So the headline is snorted out. Switzerland considering a plan to legalize cocaine in world's first trial after influx of high quality drug as cheap as beer. So the Swiss are considering what's believed to be a world first scheme in what would allow cocaine to be sold for legal recreational use in its capital. The parliament in Bern have supported this radical approach to the war on drugs, although it could still be blocked as it requires a change in the national law. This to me
Sounds like an endorsement opportunity.
yeah. I mean, let's be very honest. No, okay. In fairness, I will say this. Look, if you're asking me what's a more dangerous drug in terms of like people, excuse me, people harming other people, alcohol way worse than cocaine
because of reckless driving.
100%.
Got it.
I have never. In fact, I encourage people.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Sketchy area. We've gotten in trouble before.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Right.
I mean, what I was going to say, encourage people to drive safely.
Yes,
and if that
exactly.
means being wide awake and well stimulated. No, look, the point is, drunk driving claims so many lives, but I don't know.
I mean, look, if you're looking to party, I mean, Switzerland, they know how to do it.
Sydney Sweeney,
they
real
make
quick.
Watches. They make army knives.
Sydney Sweeney, real quick.
Sydney Sweeney has a hero of a mom. Apparently, when Sydney Sweeney was in high school, reaching the end of her high school years, she said, "I need a breast reduction," and her mom said, "No, hon, don't do that. You're going to want those someday."
If you don't know who that is, look her up.
And if you don't know who that is and you're a guy, you're lying.
Yeah. Her mom, we should make a national holiday.
Right.
I mean, oh my God.
Thank
Right.
you, Mrs. Sweeney.
Yeah, thank
Songs
you.
will be written about you.
Well, now Sydney Sweeney says she loves them.
Yeah, so
They're
do
her
I.
favorite part of her.
I think they've made her a lot of money.
At 8:57, call 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760.
877 SORG 760.
Spell that out for us.
SORG.
Somehow it sounds worse like that. Thank you, Jonas Knox. Thank you, Rich Travis. Thank you, Texans, Hangers, Bangers.
What they were calling for.
Holiday Bowl tickets.
Holiday Bowl tickets a pair.
The Christmas Spectacular.
Tomorrow.
Bar Cart Friday. Brought to you by Cake and Bottle. We'll see you tomorrow.